Hey guys, welcome back to another book preview video. This week we've got KHAT The Art of Hicham Habchi. Sorry, I am probably pronouncing the name really wrong. I'm terrible with names. So a quick look at the front and back there. I might have even pronounced the actual name of the book wrong as well. You can see this is a Spiridon book. So you might recognise the name Spiridon if you've ever backed books on Kickstarter before. Quick look at how thick the actual book is. We'll take a look at the page count shortly. So I'm just going to preview some random pages of this as I ramble on. My lighting is not perfect because the window is behind me, but hopefully you guys can see this enough to get a preview if you're considering buying the book. So I don't actually know too much about the artist, if I'm being completely honest, which is something that I say in way too many of my book preview videos. But I think I actually found it either through Spiridon or randomly on Instagram. I think he announced that he was, making another book. Spiridon was doing another book on Kickstarter. Many of you guys will know he's always got tons of projects on. I do back a lot of them. I swear I'm a bit addicted. And I started looking at this guy's art and I thought, you know what? The artwork is pretty cool, but I am not going to be buying it because I've bought absolutely loads and I don't know the artist well, so I'm going to restrain myself. And then I found myself getting to the end of the campaign, looking at his work again, really liking his style, thinking to myself, you know what? You need to start getting some more stylized books so that I can sort of work my own art towards a style, maybe understanding other people's style, the way they colour, etc, etc. And yeah, next thing I know, I found myself backing it. And judging from the Kickstarter page, it says that this was backed and fully funded even within 25 minutes. And it actually came, before I forget, with 2 bookmarks. I only went with the lowest level pledge. I can't remember what you call that tier, but basically just for this book. Couldn't really afford to go any higher. And what I will say is, just skimming through this, I really like the look of his style. Obviously I'd seen some of his art on Instagram. I will put links in the description box below to his Instagram. But yeah, it was a bit of a gamble for me, but I'm really liking the style. Not just the fully coloured pieces. I usually prefer sketches. So I actually really like that this is showing, the sketches, or maybe it's not sketch, maybe it's more line art, and then the fully coloured version. Quite often I find that I like the sketch and I'm not a fan of the coloured version. I find it difficult with my own work to actually apply colour and not mess it up. But I really like the way that he's added colour to these. Another thing that I have noticed just whilst skimming through these is that the pages, they're not very glossy, which I really like, this matte finish. And the main reason I noticed it is because I have trouble when I'm recording book preview videos. If the pages are too glossy, it just gets really difficult to actually record. You just get this big white line through the page. These ones I don't think have that because of how glossy they are. Oh, it's actually split in sections as well, I didn't realise that. Yeah, sorry, getting distracted. But the matte finish on this is really nice. Maybe that's just personal preference, but I think most of the books I own are glossy pages, so this is different and I really like it. Hopefully Spiridon will do more books with this finish. This reminds me a little bit of Kings of Nowhere. For those of you who are familiar with that, I've got a video on that comic book. So anyway, I'm actually previewing way too many pages here. I didn't mean to show them all. That's one of the ones on the bookmark, I believe. But yeah, at a glance, I'm really liking the look of this. It's about, let's see how many pages it is, sorry. Yeah, so 200 pages, roughly. And whilst I don't know loads about the artist, I do remember reading, and I think it's quite clear from looking at his work, that he's quite heavily influenced from like comic book styles and, video games and things like that, which is pretty cool. And because I just looked on the Kickstarter page to get a little bit more information, I know that he was born and raised in Morocco and has worked on quite a lot of IPs such as League of Legends, Overwatch, Borderlands 3. That even looks like something kind of like Borderlands, just coincidentally. And I think it mentioned some comic books like Batman and possibly Spawn. But don't quote me because I'm not that familiar with comic books, especially recent ones. Although I get the feeling if you're watching this video, chances are you're pretty familiar with his work already. In fact, you could probably leave me a comment below and let me know a bit more about the artist. And I think this is from Darksiders, if any of you have played that video game. I actually have one of the art books from possibly the 3rd video game. I'll put a link to that below as well. Oh yeah, and I do remember it saying that he currently works at Riot. at the time of me recording this. And I'm sure that on the Kickstarter page it had various logos of places where he's worked, and it had like, Netflix and Blizzard. So some pretty big companies. Hopefully I'm not getting any of this information wrong. But yeah, my main intention of this video, as you guys know, is just to preview some pages, give you guys an idea of what's inside. I don't think you need to see every page. I don't want to ruin it for the artist. I've seen this one online quite a bit. I really like that design. These pages are just so clean almost. And again, I think that's another Darksiders one. I think this is the sort of design for Darksiders 3. But again, don't quote me because I'm not up to date on things like that. So yeah, sorry, I was getting distracted, but all I was saying is that the pages look so clean. I really like this look. It's not cluttered at all. I don't think there's any text. You guys probably noticed more than me. I don't think there's any text really throughout. It is just a book of his art, but that's what I expected. So there you have it, guys. That's a quick look at the book. It did come with a different like neon glow cover if you went for a higher tier Kickstarter. But yeah, just at a quick glance there, I'm actually really impressed with this. So I hope you guys found this video useful. If you did, make sure you leave me a comment below, hit that thumbs up button, and be sure to subscribe and switch notifications on for future content. Thanks so much for watching, everyone.